I'm Brittany Lewis with Forbes Breaking News. Representative Lauren Boebert led a House Republican press conference on Wednesday on the Disinformation Governance Board. The Colorado Republican was asked by reporters if there was any way that Republicans could work with the board. Boebert declined and said that, quote, the board needs to be defunded. Take a listen here for the rest of her answer.
Olivia Devers with Politico. At the moment, Republicans don't have the majority in the House, and I know that there's skepticism about this board and being able to control disinformation, as you've all been pointing out. But are there areas that you're willing to work with the board on, maybe, disinformation that cartels are pushing, and other situations that you say, okay, we'll work with you now until we have the majority?
So I don't see anything that we need to work with and codify this board and give them credence. This board needs to be defunded. It needs to be dismantled because this is not a tool to go after the cartels. We have plenty of tools that we could use to go after the cartels. In fact, I've talked to the Border Patrol agents, and they're not even wanting more resources, funding, personnel, infrastructure. They just want the policies to be able to do their job, to secure the southern border. So we have many tools already available to combat the cartels, but the southern border is wide open. And this right here, it seems like it was created to terrorize the American people rather than to prevent terrorists from engaging in our country. So I would not give any credence to this Disinformation Governance Board, this Department of Propaganda. This is an attack on the American people.
Can I add to that?
Yes.
Yeah. To both of your questions, let's take a look at the start of the invasion in Ukraine. And it was released just prior to the invasion that there would be a false flag operation that Russia would use. We know that Russia and China and other malign actors around the world do use information as a tool of warfare. Our intelligence community very aptly identified that and fought back against the misinformation. And I think that's, to both of the first two questions, that's the right place in the right time in the right method to fight against the misinformation. The Russians have used this tactic before. They've used it in Eastern Europe. Obviously, it's something that we have to watch in the United States. When it comes to a tool warfare, I think we're seeing the right way to fight back against it, but not to turn it into a use for domestic purposes. And especially not to get to this point so quickly without having gone through any committees or any debate, and to bring it up as something that's going to be policy without having the American public weigh in on it. This is the foul that continues to be committed time and time again.